Good evening, folks. Today on Shallibodhran, I have decided to finally get around to doing the Korg Wave Drum. So, what is it? What is the Korg Wave Drum? Well, it came out, I believe, in 1994, I think, was the first incarnation of the Korg Wave Drum. And basically, it's a digital drum mimicking system. So it's basically a computer with lots of presets in it that allow you to switch in and out of different modes and to preset things along the entire drums, basically the entire piece of hardware. The entire piece of hardware is sensitive. So whether it's the drum head or it's the rim, it's also on everything else that it's attached to. Even on the underside. And yes, please don't hit the underside. It tells you right on there. Rim and head only. So basically that's what it is. There's lots of incarnations of this drum. Prices are going to range used anywhere for about $150 on the, not so great. I got this one used for $225 Canadian funds, all the way up to 800 plus. So what can it generally do? Well, here's the interface. That's not a great interface, considering there's so many things you can actually do with this, such as change the head sensitivity, the attenuation on the head and the rim and other things, as well as change the shape of the sound, as well as sort of, you can get the sort of the roundness of the sound or the sharpness of it. So it's not the easiest thing to use. You have here a system of banking, which goes you through the major modes of what the drum can do, which I'm not going to show you all. I'm just going to show you the two basic ones. And then you have memory storage, which works along different presets into the drum bank. How confusing is that? For the most part, the navigation of the user interface is a bit annoying. You got your volume, which really depends on what kind of cable you're hooking it up with. And this one I have it actually plugged up to my Black Star amplifier. And it's actually not that loud. You know, I've used the guitar cable and put it right through it, and then it gets loud. So the quality of the cable makes such a big difference. The right button here is sort of like your okay, take my preset and save it. So if you wanted to set something up, you have to actually go into an editing thing. You'll notice on here, you'll see things like mode, etc. All of these things set up. And you'll notice one that says live. Live is what the drum plays currently. So if you're on stage or you're playing, live is what the drum is set up to currently. What this means is that you can change it to any of the 100 presets. So here's preset number 18. You know, that sort of idea. And you can also preset it to what kind of method you're actually playing with, whether it's hand-to-hand, stick in a hand, or two sticks. So it actually will sense according to it. I actually have this one set up as hand-in-hand. So, because I normally actually play it using it as a hand, using it as more as a hand drum. Navigating the actual head of the instrument is a little bit different because it is nothing but a standard drum head, which you can replace through the back, adjusting the height. But then you remove it by taking these off. You separate the drum, and if you need to replace the head, you replace the head, and then you recalibrate the head. So really quick, I'm going to switch over to something else here. Let's just try, okay, whatever channel 40 is, we're going to work with that. So the entire drum head, think of it like this. Located down here is where all sort of the light touch sounds are. They're not that heavy. As you work your way in, sort of this T shape, it becomes more pronounced. Until you reach, there's your kick. And depending on how hard you hit, there are going to be certain types of noises. The rim is the same thing. It's pressure sensitive. So if you hit lightly, not bad. If you hit it hard, okay, this one doesn't have a multi-set. Let me change it to something that does. What's 65? I'm only getting single sounds here. Come on. There you go. Boom. Actually, I think this is the rainforest setup. So this is light. See if I can get a medium. Makes different noises. There's a medium hard hit, and then boom, big hit. Turn it to tabla. So you get the idea. Depending on how hard you're hitting it. Again, typically I'm playing with hands. I'm doing this. In tabla, and a lot of sort of drums that have set up like that, like tabla, you have a hit, harder hit, and then you have the ability to hold it down and like that. The cool thing about the wave drum is that it has so many different setups that just by pressing it, this one has a delay on it. Let's try to find one with a different sound on it. Actually, let's go back to that explosion-y one. Okay, but then you have the ability to put pressure in and play it. Which is really cool. I love how you can do that. Or just pressing it in. It's really kind of weird. It's different. Very, very different. You can do a lot of really cool stuff. Let's see if I can get a better view down here at all. Try to. Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool. So, how do you get around and navigate it? Right now I'm on setting A1. This is live. Live is what you're playing right now. You have 100 presets. Then you have 99 presets. Then you have 99 sets that you can set up. So basically, you can put stuff in here. And I haven't quite learned how to program everything into it, but basically there's your start. The next thing, if I want to change anything, so let's pick that tabla one. I do like it. But you want to change some stuff. You hold down mode, and if you hit live, it just changes to live, and then on here it will say LIV. There, LIV. Number 2, you're now in a set of tuning. Now we're in an editing system. The editing system allows you to go between tunings and level, which is how loud the drum is. Pan, if you're on headphones, pan allows the sound to go back and forth. You go from 0 and you just go up and down. But more confusingly, let's just go to tune. Yeah, algorithm information. But let's just go to tune. Now you have the option of picking elements from each. So now that you've complexly gone in one way, now you can pick 1 through 4, and it will give you different options. So under tuning, we have HA. So that includes the head attenuation, which is this. HP, which is pressure sensitivity. So the lower you tune it, the harder you have to hit it. But let's just say I want to change the rim. So I'm under rim attenuation. You're going to take the value here, and the value is going to push it up and down. They don't always work equally with every single preset. I'm already maxed out. .52 is what I normally have it on. I think that's how it presets on here. But that's changing attenuation. You can do the same thing with the head. Yeah, very different. It's really fun once you get playing because you have all these different little spots. Right up there, that tiny little spot allows you to play a little bit differently. It's really one of these things where if you're not touch sensitive, this thing is going to be infuriating. I haven't saved anything. If I wanted to save anything, I would actually go to mode and go into live, and that would save it. But since I'm not going to save it, I'm just going to jump out of the mode. So I can change the decay, the level, which is the loudness, pan back and forth, the algorithm information, and you go in through algorithm, like for example, oops, come back. And you can change the algorithm on all of this stuff yet again. The manual for this drum is very long, very complex. Like, this is something that if you're a musical engineer, sound engineer, you'd love it. If you're just someone who wants to pick up and play it, you are going to get overwhelmed. I can guarantee it. Let's get out of here. Back to live. Back to live. So if you ever need to bounce in and out, it's mode. I'm in edit 1. I'm back to live, and live is back to changing it. Edit 2, or rather, edit 2, which is under option 3 here, will give you information on how to change how you're playing. So E9 is a general setup. These are just different rim sets and like presets into the drum. I haven't heard any major difference, but it does matter when you're recording. E9 is the standard. Option 4 under here brings you into global. Global setting is weird because it allows you to pan again, which is back and forth. And I don't really know what that does because I haven't memorized it. The loop, this is our loop track. So if you want to play with something, let's just say we'll pick number 34. Nothing's happening, right? 4 plays it. And you play with it. And it will continue to do it. If you want to stop it, you just touch the same one again, 4 again. You want to change loop, go into a different loop. Computer will select it. There you go. The value just changes how loud it is. Okay. $35 should do. Change it off. So that's what global does. Global is if you're trying to set up and trying to do stuff in such a way that you want to play with a loop track. And you can see my amp in the shiny, shiny bits. Oh, look at that. Ooh, forever. But yeah, that's basically the basic functions of this drum. When you normally get it, you want to do a few things. Set your pressure, set how you're playing it, so hand, hand stick, 2 sticks. Fart around with the different settings on it. And then lastly, try to learn how to set up. So what you want to eventually have is that you can go into presets, save them, and save it into this. And then you're going to do things like control the decay, control the depth of the sound, control the attenuation of the sound, change the signatures of the sound. And this is stuff I haven't quite got around to because literally, like I said, the manual is long. Let me exit for a moment. Back to live. And see if I can find something here. Yeah. Is it watching the thing with Ronan O Snodaigh playing it? We think we know that one. That's one of the ones he uses on it. Yes, you can change the attenuation also by pressing on the drum and playing it. So there are ways of doing it. Does it play like a Bowron? No, it cannot play like it. You can't hold it in the same way and play it like a Bowron. You're going to whack your fingers. It's just not doable. And he's quite right. Like, you have to hold it out and then. And you hear how this is bouncing between different notes? You can actually change that. I don't know how yet, but there's a way to do it. I have it set to hand playing, so it's very sensitive, so me playing this with a stick is not helpful. Yeah, there's some really cool sounds on here. Here's the benefit of this instrument. The benefit is that you got lots of opportunity to play it with lots of different sounds, with lots of different sensitivities. You actually have a ton of freedom on this thing. But there's a cost to this. It's not an analog device. And that means that you can't play it like a Bowron. Doesn't work. Not particularly well in my opinion. You can certainly use it, but don't expect to get that level of satisfaction out of it unless you have spent hours playing with it. Yeah, okay, whatever. There's that, waking up in the morning, having that playing for you to start your day. Yeah, I don't know. It's really fun though. You can actually hook up headphones to it. It does have a headphone jack. Yeah, headphone jack. So much fanfare for a headphone jack. Into here, we also have auxiliary in. So there is an aux in, headphone jack. Now I actually have the headphone jack going into my amplifier, but it also has these guys here, and you can plug it into the amplifier through the guitar cord. Some amps don't like it. Can you plug it into your computer? Yeah, you can, but I don't know how to do it. Recording with this, it doesn't come with recording software. At least mine didn't come with recording software. I did ever buy it secondhand, so I'm not surprised. So that is basically the Korg Wave Drum's basic functions. Using it like a Balron is not a good idea. You're never going to get the same level versatility of sound control as you are on the Balron. It doesn't make a Balron noise. You are not going to be able to do the same. Like, you can slide it, but you're not with the same control as you would on a typical, like a frame drum or something. Also, if you're a frame drum player, it's not particularly good either. Problem, this gets right in the way, and guess where that really deep sound is? Right in there. And guess what happens when you're hitting with your hands? You say chip nail, you say bleeding fingers, because that's what this thing does sometimes. It will catch it, it will not be pleasant. Like I said, I like it better as a hand drum or as used as some other part of a drum kit. And since I'm not a kit drummer, I'm mainly using my hands. For sticking it, if you are going to be using this thing live, you better have the speaker louder than you playing, because let's turn this volume off. That's the sound. And you are going to make playing live, you're going to get a mixture of that and whatever it is you're playing, and it's going to sound a bit weird. This is really useful if you're playing anything being recorded digitally. So not so much the greatest thing for live playing. If you want to copy Ronan O Snodaigh, go right ahead. But it's not going to be as effective it just doesn't jive in the same sort of way. Really, really, really doesn't jive in the same way. So I don't know. Let's see if I can get something useful out of here. What do we got? Yeah, you gotta love that. It's really funky. Oh, here we go. This should be fun. Let's get a little bit of fun with this. Korg Wave Drum, and this would be late 2000s model. Get it if you want something different. Get it if you want to challenge yourself with something really different. But man, oh man, it's expensive. It's a very much an engineer's instrument. If you're used to acoustic type playing, this is probably not going to be for you. It is complicated to use. The user interface is not simple. But if you're someone who loves to tinker with stuff, you can do a lot with this. You can have a lot of fun with it. And if you just want something to plug in, like if you're at a cafe or something, and you just plug in with your headphones and plug into the wall while everyone else is on their computer, you can be playing on one of these. And it costs used less than a laptop. Mind you, it basically is a drum laptop. The current versions, you can also get smaller half drum versions like that. And I believe they even have tinier ones, which might cost about $500 or so Canadian, but you are going to pay for one of these. I was lucky to pick it up when I did. I picked it up at Long & McQuaid. It was in the used section. It was like, what? Where did this come from? So there you go. So Korg Wave Drum. Play it, get one if you are looking for something really different. Fun to play world music on. But if you don't have a setup, don't buy it. It's really, really, and if you get frustrated really easily, don't get it. It's really, really frustrating to use. Stick to playing Bowron. Is this good for Bowron? No, it's not. It's not particularly good. It doesn't operate in the way that a Bowron does. There's nothing on the back to play against. And don't play on the back. It's plastic. It's not meant to be struck like this, like the metal sections are. Is it simple? It is simple in its construction. It is very difficult to get to be friends with. But once you do get to be friends with it, it's really cool. Again, prices will range anywhere between $150 all the way up to like almost $1,000. So be advised when you buy this that you don't blow the bank and waste your money on something. Because I don't know how long this guy had it for, but I'm probably getting more use out of it than he is. So until next time, if you want to be like Ronan O Snodaigh, give it a shot. But it's not easy. It just takes a lot of time like anything else. And for those of you playing out there, you put a lot of time in your work. So maybe a challenge might be worth accepting. So till next time, have a good one. Bye.